here we are, guys, jumping into game number 2, the best of 3 between these two players.
Best of 7.
Yeah, so I've been saying that so long. Best of 7 between these two players. Spawning at the top right. Losing the last game, looking to tie up this series, this game. It is, of course, QXC as the purple Terran.
And his opponent in the lower left, representing Acer, it is the orange Acer.Bly.
Yeah, and Bly, of course, could be sitting a little more comfortably right now, based on the fact that he did win the last game. Makes things a little bit easier for him.
I don't think, I think some players, if this was a best of 3, for example, this might encourage him to play risky and try and end the game early. But a player like Bly, I don't think he's going to mind. This is just an extractor trick. Don't get excited.
No, the SUV that's moving across the map right now.
Oh, well, that's one SUV, though.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the second one will be the one that finishes the depot. It's a 11-11. Yeah.
It is, actually. Okay, cool. So QXC's going to try and pull this off, and
yes.
You know what? There's this trick Nerdchio does that shuts this down so well, and I love it. If you go hatch first, especially, and you patrol a drone outside the area, this choke point, however you want to phrase it, it works quite nicely. But alternatively, there's this other really, quite frankly, really stupid thing a Terran player can do. If you delay your orbital, you can choke that off with 3 full bunkers. No surround possible, and just shut down that with the salvage, move up to the main. So, I mean, both players could deal with this quite effectively, depending on how they choose to play this out.
Absolutely. Now, this is going to be interesting because his Overlord's not going to be able to spot this. It's moving upwards, but it's curved to go around the back of the natural, or the main, sorry. And yeah, I wonder if he does go for the bunkers. I doubt it because or at least not 3. It's probably going to be 1 or 2 bunkers, but probably just 1 so he can repair.
He'd have had to have already pulled a 3rd SCV if he was going to go for the full choke off. So he's just going to go for typical bunker rushing. And Bly might have got a raid from that SCV if he was paying attention enough. I mean, it was just awkward. There we go, drone being pulled. Yeah, the thing that drones do, it's not about killing the SCVs. I mean, you could even choke off the Marines, all that good jazz, but if you actually block the surface area and not allow the SCV to build in the first place, it's way better than having to kill that bunker.
Oh yeah. Now, the first Marine is out. It's coming down here. Bly still doesn't know. Watching from his point of view right now. Sees the Marine, obviously that is the big giveaway. And there's only 1 Marine here, you can get the SCV.
It's not about killing the SCVs, or you let that bunker complete, that's fine, you gotta go for the Marines. There we go, Jordan's gonna try and get in there to the Marines. But actually getting the SCVs too, even better, with QXC already pulling 4 more, ready to pick up. And there's another bunker.
Oh, dumb. Oh, okay, that's one.
Yeah,
now it gets so much harder.
He's actually, if he had done this correctly, I mean, he's invested into it. He could have done that full wall off I was talking about. I'm a little shocked that QXC of all people didn't do that, but alright, drones and SCVs gonna kill the Marines. Who cares if the bunker's complete if nothing can get to them? A full surround here. Bly so good with his control, but now he's got to back off. These drones are too low to fight.
1 bunker is complete, and it... Okay.
Actually, if he holds position, the Marines can't get into it, curiously enough. QXC is dedicating a lot to this, but he's not going to make it work. It's just not going to happen. I think we're going to see a very quick second GG.
I think so. It's 9 workers v14. He's not going to be able to get to the set.
Well, you know what, actually, if he were to... Yeah, no, there's just not a good way to recover from this.
He's going all the way in right now, pretty much.
Actually, if he sniped off that Queen, that would be huge, but unfortunately... QXC with some amazing stutter step is picking up these Zerglings, but the Queens are a little too much to handle. Are we not even going to see a salvage? QXC, man, risking everything.
Oh, he tries to get it, but just a little too late. He is now up in supplies.
But 16 Lings are on the way, and there's still Queens up. This is the problem. I mean, SCVs will tank some of these hits, but if Bly just pulls all of his workers, he's fine.
That's how Bly blocked him.
So Bly blocked him. But no, really, this is looking very grim. I mean, QXC's gonna try and do damage, but look at his Marines. There's no bunker for them to hide in. Zerglings will get that surround off. Bly auto attacking with some. He's actually physically microing the others to move command. He's trying to go for the surround. There we go. He locks QXC in, but actually perhaps a little too late. Oh no, he gets all the Marines, just barely.
Just barely. And QXC is building a low ground command center. Oh, that's not going to stay alive.
If
There it is.
Yeah, it should be. Well, I mean, he should have salvaged and canceled those bunkers and had this command center up a minute ago. I mean, this is some really sloppy play out of the risk he took to make this work.
Mm-hmm. Still producing Marines, though.
Oh, try to save this SCV. Can he get the supply depots up? There we go.
Oh.
But he's got nothing to shoot over the wall, and now he's forced to spam repair. And if he pulls these Marines home, they can't actually take on this many Lings.
7 Zerglings and it's 5 Marines, so it's not so bad. Thanks to the conga line, thanks to the rally point. But he's losing resources here thanks to repairing this.
But QXC, yeah, I really wish you would have sent those 5 Marines, honestly, into the base to take out that Queen maybe, or something, more drones, because these Marines are going to get slaughtered if they get caught. Alright, some good stutter step. This is a good start. Bly just going to walk away from this, though. QXC, as weird as it is to consider, is still in this game.
Yes. Weirdly enough. He's still in, of course, a super bad spot.
Yeah.
Bly getting his 2 gases now in his natural. That's his first gas, so he hasn't had speedling, nothing like that. But of course, it's going to be a very hard fight for QXC now to get back into this game.
Sadly, these Marines running in the middle of the map, trying to avoid these Lings. Are not long for this world. And I'm just trying to think, like, Bly behind this, like, there's a lot of things he could do. He could play really solid macro. He could go all in if he wanted to. I mean, he is ahead enough. Like, he's not so far ahead that he automatically wins the game, but he's ahead enough that he can make any decision he would like that would allow him to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I was wondering, like, he's not going for a Bane and bust. It seems like he's just going to...
Well, I think he knew QXC was going to do the barracks wall. I mean, what player doesn't when you're forced to return the 2 barracks at home? So,
yeah.
I mean, you need so many more Banelings just to deal with the barracks opposed to, like, supply depots.
That is very true. He is taking his own 3rd. He saw the SCV and he blocks the vision. Very nice at the 3rd. So that was actually a very cute move there. And double the Evo in production, so he's going to continue with his upgrades and start his lair. So it's looking very good. And there's 8 Marines moving out for QXC.
It's a little bold to move out like this. He doesn't really know how many Lings Bly still has on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's just those 5 from earlier, but 18 are about to pop. But he doesn't know that at some point Bly didn't decide to gear up for an all-in. And if QXC were to lose all these Marines, that would be devastating for him.
Yeah, he shouldn't get the cancel here. That's where he wants to go for, or he at least wants to see if it's there. The Zerglings might not commit though, because they still don't have speed, so it's going to be very hard for them to get a good engagement. And especially if QXC pulls back into, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to pull down into the ramp, so it reduces the surface area, making Marines more cost efficient. Bane and Nest in production, 1-1 in production for our Zerg.
Actually, I'm a little shocked. Bly might be in danger of losing this hatchery if he's not careful, or at least one of these queens.
And QXC, he's having such good trade here.
That's
6 Marines left,
man.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough though.
No, it will get cleaned up. That was still, I would say, a pretty decent trade. He did get the hatchery down to 600 health as well, so he can, he can pick it off later maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see anyone transfuse that hatchery. I mean, he might, but it's not really a common thing to do. But QXC, I want to point out, we're coming up on 13 minutes in the game, and he doesn't have stim started. He doesn't have anything started. In fact, he's going for Blue Flame, a very curious choice.
Ooh, he's going for a risk, it seems.
Well, you know what? Actually, this is great, because this has actually forced Bly to anything but roaches. And even Mutalisks on the field, yeah, they'll deal with Hellions eventually, but they're so fast, and with Blue Flame, all they gotta do is get into the mineral line with 2 Hellions and start frying drones alive.
Yeah, pretty much. And, the Zerglin numbers can evaporate to Blue Flame Hellions. We do have Baneland speed in production and numerous Carapace with the Spire, so it is Limblin Muta, once again coming out of our Zerg player. And he pretty much has to hit before the Spire, otherwise, the Mutas could clean up all the Hellions, and they're not going to do as much. But this is, oh my god,
the wall's open too, but it's actually going to funnel them into the Hellions, so it's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things until it happens, you're like, oh my god. 3rd command center is floating towards that 3rd now, and I don't think that Juglin blocks it, but
It
the
does.
creep, it does. It was like at the very corner, and then the creep will guarantee the delay.
Oh, and he's got nothing to actually clean us up. Marines now
Yeah.
coming in, but still irritating as ever. Bly doing some great job. And look at the creep spread. These tumors are already halfway across the map. For as weird as this game has started, it's actually kind of equalizing out.
Yeah, it's a very low economy to begin with, and then of course they build it up. We've already seen 10 worker kills for Bly, and that's how weird it is. And a lot of stuff in production. Like amazingly enough, QXC is only 20 supply down. Like obviously it does vary on what units, but he has to capitalize on this. The meters are about to pop, and he's only killing the creep tumors, and that is not enough. Like you said, the stim isn't out, there's no medevac, stim is nearly complete, but combat shield hasn't been started. So these Marines are not going to be the best way to deal with the mutalisks.
We're going to push in here, find even more creep tumors. And again, if you can just focus, like if you can force a fight at a choke, these blue flame hellions are going to eradicate the Zerglings. But that's the hardest part. I mean, like even with the Banelings here, the hardest part is forcing a fight where you want that fight to happen. I mean, what is that? 19 damage versus light? Yeah.
And the Marines are going home. It looks like some Banelings though are going to roll up in towards the third base. There's nothing here. There is a bunker, but there's no units. Is QXC going to spot it? He should.
This is
Great
like
reaction.
a signature move of Bly at this point. I think it's pretty safe to say.
And not many worker kills. And now QXC's ahead in supply. He's actually like 3 workers behind, so he's done an amazing job of getting himself back into this. Of course, he's still not out of the water, the hot water just yet. There's no turrets at his natural Bly.
Just come down. And the Marines are not in position either, stimming to get these mutalisks, but it's just, yeah, they're just gonna get out of there. And at this point, I mean, QXC has so many Hellions on the field. This is so weird to look at.
He really does. There are 17 mutalisks as well, so that's a little scary. It's 14 Hellions. Of course,
all these mutalisks are just gonna get shredded.
QXC is looking in really good fashion. Like this is why sometimes if you get a really solid advantage, you sometimes just want to all in to guarantee the win or near enough. Whereas, like a lot of people always think like if you're ahead, you get more ahead, you expand and stuff like that. But sometimes you actually let yourself, or you let your opponent.
So many Hellions just went down for those couple of Banelings. It really shouldn't have gone down like that. Some panic control coming out of QXC, but now he's got some Widow Mines down. And with the blue flame, these Banelings shouldn't be that scary, but it's the mutalisks. You can't just push into this blindly.
Oh yeah, there's not even there's one tank all the way at the back as well, which might add in some extra DPS.
QXC's losing way too many Hellions though. I mean, the Banelings are just eating him alive.
He needs a couple more tanks maybe. Alright, second factory in production. There are more tanks, plus 2 weapons as well. And Mutala's taken out.
This is like watching a MOBA. Like, Bly's sending like 4 units at a time in waves. These Banelings are doing so much damage, way more than they really should be.
So yeah, this is very interesting micro coming out of both players. Especially Bly, because he is of course doing the odd bit out. But, he actually has a very good economy and stuff. He could be doing a little bit better. He could saturate all his bases better with gases and stuff.
I think Bly's lower right base has gone unscouted. Oops, where's the button there? Yeah, QXC actually hasn't seen it.
And the fourth. So QXC doesn't know that his opponent is 2 bases over him. QXC, like, he's kind of all in at the moment. He's not building another command center. Okay, yeah, he is. Sorry, my bad. It is in production right now. And he's doing a great job of spending all his resources, whereas Bly actually has quite a lot of minerals.
More importantly too, we see QXC cleaning up a lot of this creep on the field, and that is actually quite critical. Some Terran players will just ignore it, and if you let this get out of hand, I mean, we've seen what Bly can do when he sees everything on the map, and QXC finally maxed out at this point with, I gotta point out, very little medevac count. 88 Marines, 6 medevacs are what are currently on the field. A really weird combination.
Jesus. That's so many units.
There's way too many Marines, sir. Like, why can't I hold all these Marines meme? But look at this, he's going to hit in the north, he's going to hit in the south, he's going to hit in the middle of the map all at the same time, but Bly going to catch him in the north a little bit unprepared. And that's really going to hurt his assault.
I like this by QXC. He's picking up some units. He knows the mutas are up at the top, and he picks them up. The fungal shouldn't lock it down. The fungal doesn't get dropped anyway. And pushing up into the third as well. I like it. He does, of course, take out the fifth base at the bottom right. There is a tank there, which I think he needs with his main army. And that drop does get cleaned up. Whoa.
You know, I'm going to point out too, Bly's actually a full upgrade behind at this point. 3-2 Marines are going to demolish 2-2 Lings, but only if he's afforded that opportunity. Lots of Bailey's rolling in here. A great split rather coming out of QXC, and this tank still stands.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like scoping back over it, and I'm like, wait, how is that tank at the front still?
Oh, that third base is going to go down. QXC just going to lift and get out.
Oh, fungal locks it down.
Drop on top of the Banes. Drop on top of the Banes.
And the mutas.
No. He could have gotten 8 Banelings there pretty easily. I'm a little shocked he didn't, but not the biggest deal in the world. Oh, there's no spread here this time. Marines getting demolished. The Ultralists here now too.
QXC having a really nice lead there. Actually just kind of chucking it away. That was really unfortunate. Now he's trying to take the top left base. It shouldn't get spotted because the creep. Oh, actually, there's 2 Zerglings there, so I'm wrong.
Well, they'll get spotted, but I mean, it's 2 Lings. They're not going to exactly knock down the command center.
Oh yeah, but now the mutas, Zergling counterattacks, etc., will be on their way. Nice positioning at the 4th base though. The Widow Mines, the tank placement, come from both sides, and more units are still outside his natural, just chilling for the second.
The really scary thing is Bly still forget the Mutalists for a second. These Ultralists are roaming around, and that's with Mutalists eating up a ton of supply currently on the field.
Yeah, there are 9 mutas.
No, they're actually focusing on the command center, so the Marines might just be able to take that fight.
QXC is advancing with his own 5th base. They'll give him a base over his opponent actually, so he's done an amazing job of keeping himself in this game. Like, all impressiveness to it. And is this base... Everything on the ground gets taken out, but he's gotta protect that base.
He's still doing so much fighting outside this 4th.
Oh, the mutas.
Oh, he can get something to repair. The SCV's there, he's got to repair it. And the Planetary's going to stand to live to see another day. I can't even believe it. But the Ultralist count is now starting to spiral pretty heavily, and there's a downside where, like, you know, if you've got just Ultralists, you lose the game. Oh, big hit at the 4th. Planetary not quite finished yet.
And he's got a nice reaction set. And the top left base does get taken out, so it is back to 4 base v 4 base.
As I was saying, like, just Ultralisks loses to Terran of any composition, but Bly is constantly mixing in Banelings, Infestors, everything he needs to make this work.
Yeah, definitely. He's doing a really good job. I'm surprised it's actually gone on this long though. It's a bit interesting. QXC is still amazingly enough like alive and fighting really hard. So
yeah, this is still, for anyone who's forgotten somehow through Magic, this is the repercussions of an 11-11 racks not working. So the fact that QXC is even in this game, much less still posing a threat to Bly, is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. This is super impressive. Like, I'm getting so tired. It's awesome. We've been casting for ages now.
Dude, this is nothing. Come on.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, Pewee. But okay, the Spinecrawler is gonna... I'm just kidding. Spinecrawler is gonna not be able to stop this. The hatchery should still fall if the medevacs start healing, but no, here come the Ultralists. It still goes down nonetheless. And Bly, he's getting like nostalgia from what happened with Cass earlier, I feel.
Just a little bit. Now, Bly is returning in the favor to QXC. You know, there's no turrets at the 3rd, and look how many are getting killed off. Marines do run and stimmer, but not actually that many here, so they should get cleaned up in my opinion. With a lot of stuff in production. Yeah, we're 30 minutes into this game, and this is like a really small map, so...
Bly has a massive bank banked up. I just want to point that out there in comparison. I mean, QXC's got a ton of gas, but what can he spend it on? Nothing. He's got so many Widow Mines on the field, he's got so many Marines, but those aren't exactly gas-intensive units. And look at this. Oh, this minefield. It looks like freckles and acne on like a 13-year-old man. Just all over the place. And right now coming in here, we get the Infestors pushing forward.
Nice little infested Terran detonating one of the mines, but he needs a lot more than that. 8 Broodlords in production. That, of course, does a lot against the mines. There's not... How much anti-air is there? We got 47 Marines, and that's it.
Marines are
no
okay
Thors.
if they can stim out of the Broodlords, but with this many Infestors and Ultras to zone them out, that's not going to happen. And oh my goodness, we've only got the 1 starport and no upgrades for QXC, so his Vikings are going to be non-existent, and when they are existent, they're not going to do that much damage.
Yeah, this is going to be very intense. I think this should be close to nailing the coffin. It should start to snowball right about now. QXC is going to really have to ramp up his production to try and beat this. He is, of course, counter-attacking towards the third base once again. And there's only an Ultra there and like 3 Banelins.
Yeah, he's fighting actually in a choke, but the Mutalisks are evaporating. Oh my god.
Little command centers flying towards gold. That is the main.
It's the goal
And
to land at the gold.
that's the goal. That's the one. No.
He does pick up and get out of here. There's not a lot of anti-air left. He's still got the Infestors and the Fungals to worry about, but these Broodlords in the middle of the map, what answer could QXC even have? He's got a couple of Vikings. Really, that's not... I don't think that's going to be enough, Huey.
No, but the fact that they're caught off guard in the center right now, oh my god, they're in the open.
They're in the open, but they're also over an area that's very difficult to get to.
Yeah, but if they carried on that path, I think QXC could have used that. Second starport, just now finishing up, but I don't think it's on a reactor, so it is going to have to add that or produce Vikings even slower. This base will get taken out of the top left though, and oh, the third base gets taken out, so Bly is down to nearly just 1 mine in base.
Yeah, his bank that he had earlier was spent on those Broodlords. He doesn't have that massive amount of minerals and gas lying around.
Oh.
But even so, QXC still doesn't really have a way to deal with these Broodlords. There's a lot of Corruptors guarding it now too, so Vikings alone won't be enough. He's going to need a little bit more.
Right, he is hoping to maybe get some Widowmine hits. He has picked up some units and dropped them into the main. And he's
the Ultralisk.
Yeah, and those are SCVs moving towards the gold base. Right. Yeah.
But the push from Bly here in the north. I mean, the Broodlords, there's just no answer. He can't push into it with Marines because the Ultras will zone him out. The Fungals will lock them in place. We even have transfuses going down. This is not looking good for QXC at all.
This is so close. The supply's only 10 apart right now. Income. Actually, the army supply will be.
Bly, there's really no way for QXC to kill this. He needed to have twice the Vikings he has in the field like forever ago.
He pretty much had to have, you know, with what he had to have really good Widowmine detonations. Like, that was the only thing that would have really saved him.
Well, Bly gonna get into the production, but QXC's not out of this yet. He's gonna push, and you know, when it comes to a base race, I don't know. I think QXC might be able to do this. Oh, but the gold base in the middle of the map, so important, so essential. Actually being ignored by the Infestors, I see with a big question mark. They were creeping right into it.
A Banelin just blew up in it. No, that was a third base under attack, the fourth base. There is a lot of spine crawlers up here, and the target fire onto the hatchery means that QXC lost quite a lot of units there, where he didn't really need to.
Yeah, this is an odd situation to say the least. But these, you know, the Fungals from the Infestors might win him the game. Even if this comes down to like both players have one base that they're defending solely and entirely, forget the Broodlords, forget everything else. Oh god, the Vikings doing what they can, but the Corruptor is just a little bit too strong. Oh man, it is disgusting watching Vikings try and fight Corruptors. It's not fair, I say. But QXC trying to get this lower right base, but the problem is, look at his supply. As these depots die, he can't produce more SCVs, which means he can't produce starports, which means he can't make the essential buildings for his army.
That is a big deal. Why is Bly now running drones around? He doesn't have that many resources left to build stuff. But actually, as we hit,
the Ultras are going to clean this up too, and GG. Wow. Oh. Wow. That game, Huey. I got to run to the bathroom, man. I'll be right back.
Okay.